Fragrance friends, what's happening? I hope you're all doing really well. Today I'm going to be picking just one fragrance from each of these popular fragrance brands. I'm going to be picking the one that I think is the best and the one in which I would recommend. Let's jump straight into it. Creed. For me, there's one fragrance that stands above the rest of them when it comes to Creed, and that is Royal Oud. Royal Oud is a classy, elegant fragrance that they somehow seem to encapsulate that royal aspect with it. It's a fragrance that's very light, it's fresh, and it's got a very subtle oud, but it's a very classic masculine smell, and for me it's hands down the best from the house of Creed. Tom Ford. There's a lot of fragrances from the house of Tom Ford that I do like, and I own a few, but if I had to pick just one, I'm going to go with Tuscan Leather. This fantastic classic fragrance is rich, it's bold, the leather is slightly animalic, but it's got some sweetness in there as well, but it's super sexy. I would go with Tuscan Leather. Mancera. Now I'm going to go with one of their more recent releases, and I'm going to go with Xerjoff Intense. Yes, the Intense version I think is a fantastic fragrance. It feels like it's got a little bit more depth. It feels as if it's less synthetic, whether it is or it isn't, I don't know, but it just seems like a very classic, masculine, solid fragrance. Citrusy, yet woody. I think it's a fantastic offering. It's also a little bit more versatile than a lot of their fragrances. So for me, I'm going to go with Xerjoff Intense. Nishane. Now there's a few from the house that I like, and this was a bit of a tricky one, but I think if I had to pick one, I'm going to go with Annie. I think Annie is a fantastic vanilla fragrance that is still spicy and warm. Great longevity with it. It's just a stunning 10 out of 10 fragrance. So for Nishane, I'm choosing Annie. Parfums de Marly. Now Parfums de Marly have got a lot of likeable fragrances. A lot of them are quite mass appealing. Some are for the summer, some are for the winter. There's a couple that I really like, which are probably not the standard, and you probably might be surprised by this, but there was two that I was tossing up between. It was Greenlee, yes Greenlee, or Sedley, but I'm actually going to go with Sedley. I think Sedley is a perfect summer fragrance. It's a perfect signature scent also, I believe, and just a fantastic fragrance that smells slightly unique, but it's just clean, it's fresh, it's crisp. I'd pick Sedley. Xerjoff. Xerjoff fragrances, I really like them, great quality. If I had to pick one, I'm going to go with Naxos. This is just so nice, so sensual, tobacco, honey, warm, comforting. It's just a great fragrance. Performs really well. Another 10 out of 10 fragrance in my opinion. Naxos. Initio. Again, a house with a lot of big hitting fragrances. If I've got to pick one though, I'm going to go for Oud for Greatness. This to me is the best oud fragrance out there. Again, a rich, bold fragrance. This thing performs like absolute crazy, but the smell in here is fantastic. It's smooth and it's just so nice and warm. Oud for Greatness is the one that I'm picking from Initio. Goldfield and Banks. So Goldfield and Banks, there's about 3 or 4 fragrances from the house that I really like. But if I've got to pick one, I'm going to go with Bohemian Lime. Again, a fantastic summer fragrance. It's slightly unique again. The lime is slightly unique in there. It doesn't smell like anything else really. And it performs really well. It's very cooling, it's very crisp, and it's just a fantastic fragrance. A lot of people like Pacific Rock Moss, which is okay, but for me, Bohemian Lime is the one. And lastly, we've got Matiere Premier, a fragrance house I love. I think the quality of their fragrances are great, and I like pretty much all of them from the house. But if I have to pick one, I'm going to go with Encens Suave. To me, it's the best incense fragrance. This stuff lingers so beautifully in the air. Look at the colour of the juice on this. This fragrance really epitomises the warm, spicy category. It's fantastic. It lingers beautifully in the air, performs great, and again, another 10 out of 10 fragrance. So for Matiere Premier, Encens Suave is the one that I'm picking. Now, of course, all of these fragrance houses have loads of really good fragrances, but for me, these are the ones that I would pick if I could only pick one. Let me know down below your favourites from these houses. This is a part 1, there'll probably be a part 2, part 3. If you want to check those out, then consider subscribing so you get notified when the videos get released, and give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this content, and I'll be back very soon for another video. I appreciate you watching. You take care. Bye.